Hey guys, happy Sunday. Just making sure everything's set up. Happy Sunday, everyone. I hope you guys have had a great weekend, a great week. We ain't talked since last Sunday. So I hope you guys had a great week, that it was blessed and that it was productive in the midst of everything that was going on. I'm happy to be here. Hey Chantel, I'm happy to be here, y'all. Y'all know I live for Sundays at 7 o'clock so we can do some self-care talk, so that we can grow ourselves, so that we can be the best people that we can be in order to reach all the blessings that's in store for us in this upcoming year. We got to do things, we got to get prepared, right? This is a season of being prepared and to make change. Like a lot of the devotions I've been a part of, my church service today, it just talked a lot about change and preparing yourself, that there's a shift that's getting ready to happen and you're not going to be ready for the shift if you don't make some changes. So I am 100% at the place in my life that I am, taking those strides, being intentional to make those changes. And anything that I'm touching, I'm trying to do it in excellence. So I'm trying to prepare for it. So I'm excited. I prepare for our time here. Our format today will be a little different. For the last couple of weeks, I've been doing a mindful moment at the beginning. We recap a little bit. We talk a little bit about something new, and then we'll have other activities. But today we actually going to have somebody on. This is my first time having like somebody join me, so I'm super excited about it. We have Miss Candace Alexander with Intense Fiyaaaa Fitness. She'll be with us as she donated 4 free virtual fire fitness lessons that'll be happening today, and we'll do the drawing. So she'll come on at like around 7:30. So I won't do my mindful moment. I'm gonna remind y'all where I find the mindful moments is YouTube. I go to YouTube, I type in 3 to 5 minute mindful moment, and it'll just pull you up a long list of different mindful moments that you could do. It could focus on deep breathing, it could focus on visualization, it could give you some different ideas like mindful sound, mindful looking. It'll give you a whole bunch of different things that you can do. So in your free time, if you have time, please do a mindful moment. They are good to kind of keep your brain on whenever you're feeling a little off task, you're feeling a little bit out of it. Those mindful moments kind of jumps you back on. So y'all see me kind of look down a little bit today because I jotted down some things that I did not want to forget to talk about. So I'm going to first start with who self-cared this week. Did y'all do some self-care? If you did, put it in the chat on what type of self-care did you do. I'm always self-caring. So I took some time to chill out this weekend. I took some time at church today. I got a chance to go and worship and give it up to God. So I self-cared all week. So tell me, did y'all self-care? Put it in the chat so I can see what y'all guys have been doing for the last week. I do want to recap. So these last couple of weeks, what have we talked about? We talked about being intentional in your self-care plan and your self-love. We talked about giving yourself permission to self-care, to tell yourself it's okay for me to move forward with that. We talked about just doing it. Just do it. Just do it. And we talked last week about accountability and how important it is to be accountable to these different plans that you're putting in place. And sometimes how we can't do it on our own and we have to find accountability partners. I didn't have nobody reach out to me, so I guess y'all ain't need me as accountability partner, but I'm here because we want to reach our goals. We want to progress to the places that we're trying to get in that loving of ourselves, taking care of ourselves with so much going on right now. So those were the last couple of things that we talked about. We went over some self-care activities. We talked about how I went over my self-care plan on how I cleanse my face. We talked about the mindfulness activities. We talked about affirmations, self-affirmations. We talked about health wellness, like with exercise, with nutrition. Those were just some examples. And whatever else you're doing for self-care, share it with us. We could have someone out there that's kind of stuck and what their self-care plan needs to be. And your suggestion, your thing that you're doing could be that one thing that they forgot about or need to do. So share that with us. You can write in the comments what your self-care activities are looking like. So today, one thing that have been pondering or thinking about and kind of hearing a lot of is, as we're working towards our goals for self-care and we're working towards our goals for self-love, there are different things that can come up that are barriers, right? Like we have all these intentions. We're like, I'll be sitting here on Sharonda's self-care talk and I do all those things. I be intentional. I gave myself permission, but there still seems to be some sort of blockage, right? That could come up in the midst of what we're trying to do to better ourselves. So I want to talk about one of those major blockages that I see that I've dealt with myself that has come up, and that has been fear, right? Just like there's a lot of things that we can be fearful of in life. So I wrote down some examples of some things that you could be fearful of. You could be fearful of being successful, right? Oh my God, what does it mean? Like, what if I really meet the goals of what I'm trying to do? You could be fearful of failure. I'm not even going to do it. I'm not even going to come up with a self-care plan because I ain't going to meet it. I ain't going to do it. So I'm not even going to do it. Being fearful of pain, some sort of pain that could come from you addressing whatever you're working on in your self-love journey, your self-care journey. Fearful of the thoughts of others. That has been, I'm gonna tell y'all, for me, I used to be a people pleaser, very much so. Like when I was younger in high school and college, I really cared about what people thought. I really cared about what people thought of me, and that would dictate my actions. And that didn't make me not an independent person, because I was very independent as well. My mom raised me to be independent, to land on my feet, but I still cared. I still wanted to be liked. I still wanted people to think highly of me. And as I've gotten older, that's not the same place that I'm at, but I did. That was me. I cared. I had a fear of what people thought of me. Fearful of public speaking. Yeah, my daughter has fearfulness of public speaking. We're working through that because we are talking family. Fearful of finances, fearful of your money, right? Money make the world go round. and sometimes it's hard to step out on a dream or to step out on faith when it has to do with your money, because you're like, but I still got to pay this, or I still got to do this, or I got to prepare for this, or I need to put in my savings, or different things like that. You can have fearfulness of finances. You can have many things that you're fearful of, but the Bible in 2 Timothy 1:7 says, for God does not give us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind, right? That's what the Bible says. So if God doesn't give you the spirit of fear, where that fear coming from? And when we take ownership of it, when we say, oh, I'm scared of this, or I don't know how to step out on this, or those type of things, what are we believing then? Are we believing the word of God? Are we believing what God is telling us? Or are we believing something else? So if God is saying that he does not give us the spirit of fear, he gives us love and he gives us power, and he gives us a sound mind, we should be walking in everything with our heads up. We should be walking in everything with a sense of authority, because God's given us that, right? He's given us that spirit to say, hey, you can do this. There's nothing you should be fearing. There's nothing you can't do. I told y'all guys on one time where I was telling y'all, but my mom told me I could do anything. Literally, she told me I could do anything. So as an adult, I don't feel like I can't do anything, because the worst thing that could happen is what? It don't work. Okay, that's the same place I was at the beginning if it didn't work. The best thing that could happen is I run out this thing like fire. Like, I get so much that I'm just so overwhelmed. Even with naturally Shaboo and my body butters and my body scrubs, I know it's great. I know my skin is smooth and all those type of things, but I don't know. It take money to run a business. It take money to get product. It take money to make stuff happen. And at the end of the day, I'm a single parent. And so my money goes to making sure my household's running and my kids are good. But you know what? If I can do anything but fail, why not do it? And I have been getting orders out of like crazy, y'all, like crazy. But if I never stepped out, if I never got over the fear of my finances or fear of what other people thought of me, I would have never made it to the place where I'm like, okay, I gotta kind of bump this up. I gotta find some bulk stuff. I gotta do those type of things. So what I'm saying is, it's easy to say, oh, we shouldn't be fearful of something, or it's easy to say, we should be able to overcome that. But there are steps to that thing, right? If we've allowed fear to sit in us, we can be fearful of loving ourselves, right? Like, our backgrounds, being raised in a single household where you may not have had the greatest relationship with one of your parents, that can dictate your relationship with other people. And that's a sense of fear because you're trying to protect yourself, right? You're putting up that barrier. You like, ain't nobody else gonna hurt me like that. Ain't nobody else gonna get me like that. Ain't nobody else gonna make me feel a certain way, right? So we can kind of block some of that self-love as well in that place, or we can block some of that self-care. So maybe it's not about, oh, I have to give myself permission. Well, yeah, I'm gonna give myself permission, but I don't think I'm gonna have time for it. I'm scared to make that time for it. So we got to identify and address that fear. So to me, that's the first thing you need to do. Identify what you're fearful of. And if you don't know what it is, take a moment and just be silent and pray about it. God, what's blocking me? Like, I really want to take care of me. I really want to be the best me that I can be. And I'm trying and I don't know what's going on. God, I need you to help me, direct me. I'm a big person on signs and wonders. I have conversation with God like he my daddy because he my daddy. I'm like, daddy, like, show me some signs and wonders about what's going on. And then you have to be observant for those signs, right? So if I'm asking God to show me signs, I'm looking for the signs. If I'm driving and I hit 7 yellow lights, all right, God, you want me to yield on something? Like, what's going on? I'm hitting 7 red lights in a row. Like, okay, I might hit 2 red lights and that's normal. I'm gonna hit a green light at some point, but I didn't hit 7 red lights. Do I need to stop in something in my life? Do I need to stop with something I'm doing? Let me take a moment and think about that because my relationship with God is I'm asking him, show me signs and wonders. So you got to identify it. You got to identify what is scary for you, what is causing you the fear, right? So once you identify what's causing you the fear, you got to acknowledge it. Call a spade a spade. Like, I am fearful of this. I am fearful of this. I am fearful of that. These are blockages in my life right now. And because of these blockage, I can't step forward. I can't step into self-care. I can't even love me. I can't even love me the way I need to be loved. So how do I expect somebody else to be able to love me the way that I should be loved? Like, these are things like, I'm not just saying this stuff or just sharing this with you to say, oh, this is what you need to do. This stuff I had to do. This is stuff I had to do. How can I be loved wholly? If Sharonda can't love Sharonda, how I expect somebody else to love me? And how I'm gonna believe that that person loves me, So you got to identify that fear. You got to identify it. If you don't know how to identify what you're fearful of, you need to pray about it. You need to ask God for direction. God, reveal to me what my fear is, because fear don't come from you. According to 2 Timothy 1:7, this is what your word says. For God does not give us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. So if your word is telling me that I shouldn't have this fear, help me to identify it so I can release it, right? So I can let it go. So we've identified it. We've acknowledged that we have that fear. Before we can release it, we got to work on it, right? So I can sit here and say, because it was me and my mom when I grew up, and this is no slight to my dad because I love my dad and my dad loves me beyond measure. I am his baby girl, 100 grand, like 100 grand. I'm his baby. I'm his only daughter, so this is not a slight against my dad, but in the same token, when I grew up with a single parent, and those things, you got to deal with some stuff because of that, right? When you get older and you're in relationships and you're trying to figure out who the best person is for you and what direction God wants you to go in, that can bring up some childhood stuff. It can bring up some things which then has caused a fear, right? It's caused some sort of fear that has come up that you need to identify, acknowledge, and work on it. And when you're working on it, y'all, that's when you're doing that self-care. That's when you're doing that self-love and all those little pieces right there. That's the work on it. That's the hard part. That's the part that's like, okay, all right, so I got a fear of others' opinions of me. I'm gonna work on this. Well, I'm gonna acknowledge it. I'm gonna identify it, And then I'm going to work on appreciating my own worth. I'm going to work on appreciating my own voice, right? As a social worker, I graduated in 2003 at 21 with my master's degree, going into the work field with everybody older than me, right? So what? Tell me what y'all thought they thought. Oh, this little girl coming here, she don't know nothing. She don't know nothing. So I always had to have my A game on. I had to come up in there like tight and right at all times. I got to speak the right language. I had to do all these things because I have to articulate that I know what I'm talking about. But when I look back on it, did I really have to do that? No, I ain't have to do that. I have I had my degree like you have your degree. I have my education like you have your education. I don't have to prove anything to anybody. But that's in retrospect, me being able to look back to understand, I had a fear of people's opinion about me instead of walking in my calling, walking in my authority that God has given me to say, yeah, I may be young, but I got this. I know what I know that I know that I know what I'm doing, right? So we're going to identify it. We're going to acknowledge it. We're going to work on it. And then we're going to release it, right? We're going to release it. Once we've identified what is causing us some fear in our life, once we have acknowledged that this is a fear for us, and once we worked on it to grow ourselves into a better place, then we're going to release it into the sea of nothingness, right? We're not going to hold on to it and drag it on year after year after year. And we're like, God, I don't feel good. I don't feel good about myself. I can't love me the way I need to be loved. But we can't do that when we drag in fear with us from year to year to year to year. We got to genuinely release it. And if you can't release it on your own, then that's when you ask for God's help to support you through that. God, show me how I need to release this thing. God will bring people in your life. He will surround you with people who can help you release it. And I'm telling y'all, when y'all release that thing, when y'all release that fear, you feel so much better. It is easier. And I tell everybody, every year I get older, I get easier and easier with loving myself, easier and easier with being okay with who I am. Good, bad, ugly, indifferent. This Sharonda. This is who you get, y'all. It's me. It's me. This is Sharonda. And I'm okay with who I am. I am okay with this woman that I'm growing into. I feel like I'm growing daily. I'm growing daily in my everything, in my womanness and being who I am and being okay with that. But that's because I've been able to identify some fears in my life. And it's taken me a while to do that. But I've been able to identify fears and given myself the right to have the authority to say, God ain't gave me the spirit of fear, so I shouldn't be fearful. And like I said, that can be easier said than done. It's not overnight. I didn't wake up one morning and say, I ain't scared of nothing. Heck no. Like, it takes time, it takes work, it takes being intentional. That intentional word is just keep coming up and keeps coming up and keeps coming up and keeps coming up. Because to make the changes that we want in our life, we have to be intentional. We have to put forth the effort. Because if we don't put forth the effort, nothing will change, nothing will be identified, nothing will help us to be able to move forward and move on. And the self-love, loving yourself in the way that you deserve to be loved, sets standards and sets expectations for what you're accepting in your life, right? If you can't love me at least as much as I love myself, we got an issue, right? And I love myself big time, big time, big time. I tell anybody, like, y'all, I'm amazing. I'm amazing. And it's not about me being cocky or it's not about me, having a big head. Ain't nothing like that, because I'm humble. I'm beyond humble. I feel like God has blessed me, but he can bless you too. The things that I've accomplished, you can accomplish too. So it's not about that. But I think I'm amazing. Because I know the trials and tribulations that I've gone through in my life. I know the things that I've overcome. I know the things that God has allowed for me to deal with and to step forward with. And because of that, I'm amazing, y'all. You're amazing. You are amazing. And that's the first step in that self-love, self-care. Take care of yourself. And like I said, the reason why these talks are so important is because if it was easy, everybody be doing it. If it was easy to self-care, if it was easy to self-love, everybody will be doing it. And we're not, right? We're not taking care of ourselves. We're not loving on ourselves. We're not doing those things. So if it's not easy, then there are steps to that thing. And so these are the steps that I'm talking about. So we just, like I said, we're talking about fear and steps to be able to overcome fear, which can be a blockage in our life. It can be a blockage for us to get to that self-care, and it could be a blockage in order for us to get to our self-love. Oh, that's good things, y'all. Talk to me. So are there things, is this hitting with anybody? Is it that did God give this to me just out the blue? Or is this some things that we're dealing with? Are these things that we're seeing in our life that we're like, God, I need to work on that? Is this hitting for somebody? It's still hitting for, because I don't think that I've identified all the things that I struggle with and the things that could be blockage or the things that I'm fearful of. But what I do know, y'all, I know that the spirit of fear is not of God. That I do know. And if it's not of God, I'm not taking ownership of it. So y'all don't take ownership of that fear. Identify it, work on it, and release it. Because if God has given us the spirit of power and of love and of a sound mind, that's what I want. I want power. I want authority in my life. I want love. I want to receive love and I want to give love. I want a sound mind. I want to be able to think clearly and I want to be able to hear him clearly. I want to do all those things. So if I can focus on that and not focus on the things that I'm scared of or the things that are causing me fear, it's giving me those steps closer and closer and closer to self-care and closer and closer and closer to self-love. And it's a work, right? It's a work. It's not something that just automatically you have it. You got to work on it. My pastor spoke today about change, like that there's a change in the atmosphere that's coming and you got to prepare yourself now for that change. So if your self-care thing is you want to be healthy, take them steps to be healthy, work on your nutrition, work on your exercise. If your thing for self-care is about being closer to God, then you work on that. Get a devotion time, read your Bible, learn the word for yourself, get your interpretation that God's given to you. If your thing for self-care is about taking care of your body, get a self-care, get a cleansing system for how you're going to cleanse your face or, those type of things. If your self-care thing is, I'm going to make sure my room is clean and whatever the case may be, come up with a cleaning time. If your self-care is, I need some one-on-one time with me, then come up with a plan. 5 minutes every day, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to spend some time with myself. Whatever your plan is, you got to put some action to that thing and you got to hold yourself accountable. Those are the steps that you got to do. You got to identify your fear. You got to work on it and you have to release it. And then you have to work on that self-care. You have to be intentional. You got to give yourself permission and you got to just do it and hold yourself accountable. And it sounds like a lot of steps, but it's not. It becomes easier and easier and easier the more that you do it and the more that you work on it, y'all. Oh, that was a lot. That was a lot. One thing that's just amazing to me is, how God can really speak to you and say, hey, talk about this thing. And he brought up this fear. I did never went here before, y'all, but God brought up the fear thing. So if that's something that resonates with you, work on that. Listen to the steps I talked about. So we're going to be preparing for Ms. Alexander to come up. I'm so excited about having her talk more about her program. We are going to do the raffle, y'all. The raffle is going to happen kind of towards the end. We do have several people in the raffle. Y'all follow the rules this time. Y'all won't play. So y'all followed the rules and I was able to get y'all guys in the raffle. We'll do that at the end. And what the raffle is for 4 free virtual classes with Intense Fiyaaaa Fitness, that is owned by Miss Alexander, and she should be up here soon, and then we'll be able to bring her on and she can talk a little bit about her program, a little bit about where it came from, where it manifested from. I can tell y'all guys my testimony as I've been working out through her program. And y'all know I'm in North Carolina and she's in Virginia, but that barrier, it does not cause any issues. I definitely thought about Zoom workouts before, and I was just kind of like, okay, because I've done like YouTube videos before. Like I had a whole little group of friends, and we would get on and we would do YouTube videos, and I just kind of was like, okay, I'm sweating a little bit, but I'm not really seeing anything from it. So when I got invited to her group, I was like, okay, we'll see what happens. And from the moment that I have started, y'all, I be working out. Like I'm working out like she right beside me, pushing me and encouraging me to meet my goal. So that's amazing. So I'm excited for whoever gets the opportunity to win the free virtual classes. And even if you didn't win and you choose to come on board with her, it's a whole community. We have a Facebook group. We're encouraging each other. And that's that accountability, right? Like when I see in there that someone's saying, yep, I'm going to make sure I'm on Zoom today, or I'm going to be live in class today. That's accountability, which is one of the steps we talked about in order to meet our goals for self-care and to meet our self-love and all those pieces. So I'm really excited for y'all guys to hear more from her. Now, last time we came on, I forgot to do my self-affirmation. Ain't nobody tell me either. So I'm going to do the self-affirmation now, so I don't forget at the end. And I will post the self-affirmation in the chat so that y'all guys can have it. This will be the third self-affirmation that I actually have done. So, and that I've provided to y'all. So y'all should be building up your affirmations. Like you can print these things I'm posting, put them around your mirror. I have mine going like right around my mirror so I can look at them and I can read them, right? So the one I'm going to say today is a morning affirmation. So I did one that was particular for the nighttime. I did one that was really general. So I'm going to read it. I want y'all to repeat after me, and I'm going to post it so that you'll have it. All right. Today is a day of happiness and peace. I am grounded and centered. I am grateful for my beautiful life that is filled with many blessings. I move through my day with conscientiousness, grace, and love. Nice, short, but sweet affirmation. And it's something that you can say in the morning as you're getting ready and you're starting your day off on a positive note. I've said in the past that when you walk out the door, you cannot control what's being said, who's saying it, and what that information would mean for you. So we want to build ourselves up as much as we can before we walk out them doors in order to go into our day and to walk into it. So if we start off with those self-affirmations, you can do them in the morning. You can do a midday self-affirmation. You can do a night self-affirmation. There are a lot of different ways that you can build into yourself. You can come up with your own affirmation. You don't have to use the ones that I'm providing. You can come up with your own. You come up with a family affirmation. You know, I have an affirmation for my dance academy. I have an affirmation at home. There are a lot of different ways that you can kind of build into yourself. And if you have an affirmation that you're using, you can share it with us, put it in the chat below. And maybe someone can use that. They can use that to kind of better themselves and grow themselves and do all that great stuff. I am excited. I feel like we've had a great conversation today, y'all. I hope that fear talk was good for somebody. If it was good for at least one person, I feel like, it was successful, because I want to take my part from it. I'm going to take what I need to take as I'm working through some the fearfulness things for myself, but y'all need to take that too. And you reading it in the Bible, it took me all of 2.5 seconds to type in my Bible app, fear. And it showed me all the verses in the Bible that talked about fear and talked about what that could mean for me and what that could mean for you. And if you don't get anything else, y'all have that God did not give us a spirit of fear. He didn't give it to us. He gave us power, love, and of a sound mind. All right, y'all. So I think Miss Alexander is here. I'm gonna see if I can slide her up on the stream. Let's see what I'm doing. Now, be patient with me. It's my first time having somebody. If I make a mistake, be patient, okay? All right, let's see. Yes, look at me being a professional. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am doing well. Let me see if I can get everything. Look at me. I can't so with all my professionalism.
Yes.
How are
Okay.
you doing today?
I'm doing great, darling. Just finished
I'm
eating
so
an amazing wrap.
we haven't had dinner over here yet. We'll get it at the end. Jermaine already came in here and looked at me. So I was like, I'm coming, son. You know what time it is.
Oh, wow.
Yes, but I'm happy to have you today.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So I wanted to give you an opportunity to talk a little bit about yourself, about your program, give some people some inside scoop about Miss Candace Alexander.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, again, my name is Candace Alexander. I am owner and creator of Intense Fiyaaaa Fitness, which, as you can see at the bottom of this on the screen there, it is a guy fun, very fun. We have fun. Guyanese infused Caribbean / international based total body workout at your body's intensity. The reason I have infused Caribbean and international because you get all of that in the class, all different kind of music. So
For sure.
I am originally from Guyana, which is in South America, not to be confused with Ghana, because a lot of you are confused that. Yes, I'm from South America
Absolutely.
because I'm always wearing the colors, and that's the head thing. It says Guyana because everybody always say Ghana.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's just my format is basically about, well, my motto basically explains what my format is: faith, fun, fitness, fellowship, and family, because that's what you get when you come to the class. All of those, the 5 F's,
Yeah.
and the 5 A's represent those 5 F's. I am
Hmm.
also a single mom with an amazing 16-year-old prince. I like to call him my prince. He's not quite king yet. He's prince. Yeah,
You getting there?
yeah, that's my gift.
Yes.
And basically, this format is basically for him because it's my legacy, what I'm going to leave for him. So
Awesome.
it's that's why I say family, because everybody that comes on board also automatically becomes my family. So it's going for him, who is my son. So it's all family, and it's all about just helping people to take their life back. Basically, this, especially with what's going on now, we need to take care of ourselves because that's the only thing we got control over. We don't have control over the food or any of that. So we got control over our life. So we have to do what we got to do. Watch what we
Yeah.
eat, work out. You don't have to be in a gym. You don't have to be in a class. Just do something. Walk, you have to stay active. It's all
Absolutely.
about a healthy lifestyle. It's not about getting skinny.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Healthy lifestyle. Yeah, it's just
And I was just going to share, like, for me in particular, because I am a part of the Intense Fire family. From the moment I came to the first class, it's been love. It has been love shown my way. Not even just from Miss Alexander, from the other women that are a part of. They've been my Facebook friends. Now they be commenting on my posts. I mean, it's like an extended family, and I know that they're rooting for me, right? They're rooting for me to be successful in whatever my journey is, because my journey could be very different than someone else's, but
yeah,
they're rooting for me and they're checking on me and I'm rooting for them. And that's definitely been like a huge besides me sweating to all sweat dripping everywhere. That has been a big piece for me as well. Is just that sense of family and that sense of community that you kind of establish within your program and your business. How long have you been in existence?
Well, actually, I've been an instructor for almost 9 years now. I started
Oh
out with
wow.
Zoom, and
Okay.
2 years ago, my mentor basically, I'm going to say she made me jump and she pushed me over the edge in
Absolutely.
getting this format. And it's like, that's why I say family, because
Yeah.
she was actually my mentor, was once my student, and
Oh
then she
wow.
became my mentor and basically helped me to start this format. But my students, I don't like to say students, I like to say family, because from day one, every one of them have been rooting for me, because they always told me, Candy, you're different. You're
Yeah.
not Zumba. That is not Zumba. What you do.
Yeah. 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 For
I
sure.
just basically found myself, and my format is about me sharing myself with
Absolutely.
everybody through my format.
Absolutely. And just your energy when we're working out is contagious. I be wanting a job. I'm oh God, like I can't quite get there quite yet, but I be wanting to because your energy is there. And I think one of the pieces why like when I've done you just like YouTube videos, I didn't have like a lot of commitment with it and I ain't really but like you'll be up there and you'll be like, I see you, Sharon. I'm like, oh God, like I forgot she could see me. Like, but that's motivating to me because when I hear you say my name, I'll be like, oh my God, let me pull it reserve. I'm gonna go and get that stuff from the reserve and kind of keep pushing to kind of get through it. Cause that's like like I've been talking about on the self-care talks, that's accountability for me, right? Like my person, she care enough about me that she like, I see her arms falling. Let me go and shout her out real quick. Like, so that's been really 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 helpful for me and I'm sure for many of the other people because you're always rooting for anybody that's up there whether it's in Zoom or live classes. So
Yeah.
people who are up here that are in like the Hampton Roads area, you actually are not just Zoom, you have live classes too, right?
Yes, I teach at the Fit Shop in Newport News on Monday and Saturdays. And to go back to what you said, as far as the rooting for you, that is actually, I like to say it's the goal of my class, one of the goals of my class, because I don't just want you to come and jump around and see me act silly. I need to know, because I believe your name is all you have in life. There's
Absolutely.
nothing you can take from that. Your name, when you leave here, that's your name. You can't get rid of that. So I like to know that what Intense Fiyaaaa Fitness is my name. So I want to know that I'm giving you something. So I want to. I don't want to hear, "Oh, I'm going to have fun in Candy's class. I'm just going to go in and." No, I want to know that you are getting results. What you're
Absolutely.
coming for. I want to know that you are feeling healthy. You're getting off of medicine, and those are the type of testimonies I love when I hear, because then I know I'm doing my job. I'm doing,
Absolutely.
because this is my gift. This is a
Yeah.
gift from God for me, and I will not disappoint Him. So I got to put my
Absolutely.
all into it. So
Yeah.
you guys, I expect you to put your all into it, because it's your life. It's your life,
Absolutely.
not just an exercise class.
Absolutely. And you feel that. You feel that in the class. I feel that in the Facebook group because there's a Facebook group attached as well. And Miss Alexander, she'll put in different encouraging messages, videos. Even with my naturally Shabooty self-talk, she's been really supporting my process here. And I really appreciate it. I don't know if I ever said I do, I appreciate it so much because this is, as you said, that's your spiritual gift. This is part of what God's told me to do this year. He really has. He's like, I didn't send you to school. You can get all this great knowledge and go and do something with it. Go on
Yeah.
and go on. Let the community know kind of what's going on and how they can better themselves. And so I appreciate it tremendously.
Right. Yes.
And even donating the virtual classes that came out of nowhere. I mean, I didn't ask. I mean, you generally. I woke up, had a message. I was like, oh, so but I'm excited for someone to have the opportunity to experience you.
Thank
I mean, experience what you provide. Y'all see that background? That's where she be working. Like it's where she be having us, push and push. And when I say y'all, I have weights that I'm using. I have a mat. Like one time she did this whole up down thing, and I was like, like, okay, we're gonna do this up. All right, give me around. I was like, but I was all doing it. I was up, down, up, down, up, down. So I couldn't up, down no more. So how do you come up with like your routines and like and the process of what you're teaching?
Basically, I actually try my best. I pray on it every day. I promise you. What am I going to do? Because I don't want you guys to get bored and
Yeah.
feel like, oh, the same body part you're going to work. I need to
Yeah.
make it because we are we get bored easily. So something,
Yeah.
especially with the fact you're doing the same thing over and over, it's going to get kind of boring. And
Yeah.
that is what I don't want. So every class, you may hear the same songs, but you know you're not going to know what order I'm putting it in. And the
Right.
thing is, I just like to be, it's just be about being creative with it. I try my
Absolutely.
best to be creative because I really want you guys to win. I want you to
Yeah.
get the results that you're looking for.
Absolutely. And it's working. I mean, it's working for me. I can only talk about my testimony in this process. And I've already we're working on the nutrition part, but
Yes.
these has jump started. Like it has really like pushed me. I can tell in my clothes. And I'm big on letting people know. Right, kind of what's going on. Y'all look at my before and after picture. Look at my food, look at what I'm doing, because you just never know who needs to see that
Yes.
right in that moment. So every time I'm posting, y'all may be sick of me, but I don't care. When
Mhm.
I be like, let me take a picture real quick. Boop, y'all, I just got because like this is like I know how hard it is. I know how hard it is to jumpstart yourself to make a life change and to make a healthier me change. And right now, we're quarantined and we're on down and we have all these things, and it can definitely be overwhelming. And then you find yourself in this spirit of depression where you
Yes.
just when you're not doing anything. And so it's good to know that there are programs like this out here where you're not just gaining a class, you're gaining a community and a family. And that's really what it is. So I know I'm big up and but I would not tell y'all that this is the bomb. Let's see
Thank
what
you.
see.
Thank you. And like you said, it actually starts in the mind. It
Yeah,
has to start in the mind. And that's the thing you said, like you said, you started with the food and then you tried out other classes, different kind of exercises. But the thing is, you have to know what you want for yourself
absolutely.
and you have to start it in the mind. If you can see my class and be like, oh, I'm going to go try this class and do it and be like, oh my God, I love it. But if your mind is not ready
Yeah,
to take your life back, you're not going to continue.
yeah,
It has to
yeah.
be a mindset. And everything
Absolutely.
else, and the food, of course, is top because no matter how much you jump around in my class, if you
Yeah.
are not eating good, you are it doesn't do anything for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think today I talked a lot about fear and how, God hasn't given us a spirit of fear. So if God
Mm,
has given us a spirit of fear, when we're fearful, then that means that's coming from somewhere else. If
mm.
God gives us power and love and a sound mind, I want authority. I want authority. So we got to identify the fear. And that's something that's fearful. It's fearful to be like, I'm gonna try to do this, but what if I fail? Like, what if I can't get it? What if I can't make it through a whole class? Then you don't make it through a whole class and try it again. Like,
It's okay. It's okay. And that's the thing with the class. It's at your own pace. You can do it.
absolutely,
Doesn't matter if you fail. We all fall sometime. Get back up, dust itself off, and keep going. It is
absolutely,
okay. That's why you have other people to help push because I believe it takes a village. Just
yeah,
like myself, I teach class like crazy, but I had to go, I got a personal trainer because there's somebody else stronger than me that I'm going to need other help from the outside. And you don't
absolutely,
want to do the same thing over and over. You got to shock your body. You have to.
absolutely. So, what days are your classes?
Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays. It's actually at 6 o'clock. Mondays and Saturdays, we're in the studio. But no matter if we're in the studio, we're still Zooming. Every
Yes,
class is Zoomed. So, but
Yes.
Mondays and Saturdays is in the studio in the Fit Shop in Newport News at 4:45. I think it's Suite 6, Newport News, 6 o'clock. And then on Saturdays, it's at 1 p.m. And we do a 90-minute class on Saturday. So it's usually an hour class and it's 90 minutes on Saturdays.
It don't ever be an hour. So the first time I did it, right? Let me tell y'all, I was like, it started at 6, and then I was like, I was about to die at 6:45. So I was like, only got about 15 more minutes. I'm gonna push. And then at 7 o'clock, Miss Candace was like, okay, let's go on the floor. I was like, what? Seven. It is an hour class, but she gives so much of herself that she like, all right, y'all, okay, now it's time. And it could be, I mean, it could be an hour 15 minutes, an hour 20 minutes. Like, it's an hour class, but it's an hour of high intensity, and it is. But she'll give alternatives for you to be able to do, so that if you can't do this jumping, she can tell you go step to the side. You can still make it happen. But the goal is, and this is for me, my goal has been to get to that high intensity where I can jump the whole time, and I ain't about to pass out. I'll be like, oh. That's my goal is to kind of get that. But that the energy you give off, like even when you're in the studio, even when we're on Zoom, you still feel the energy, you still feel connected, you still feel a part of the class. It's not like it's like a taping and you're over there dealing with the live folks. No, like you come over and be like, I see y'all, like your little face be up in the camera.
And that's what I want, because you know how many people I've been told, they come to me, a lot of my students from before COVID, everybody is not a virtual person. Yeah. And they all like, oh, Kenny, this is gonna be boring. I can't jump around with you on the screen. I need you right here. And I'm so glad that you said, I need to know that you guys are feeling. And some of the other students from out of town told me the same thing. And I'm so blessed to know that you guys feel that you're right there in the room. That is the goal. Thank you.
Yes, it has definitely been a blessing for my life. And my biggest thing is I'm not trying to hold things hostage. I want to share. Like,
yeah, please.
Well, I know people have different goals. I mean, they have different goals. Maybe it's not completely nutrition, but we all need to be moving. We all need to be doing some sort of movement. Yes. And to me, to do it in a fun environment and a family-friendly environment, and an environment that's really like I'm working up a sweat. Like, to me, that's the best place to be.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm excited for you. I'm really hoping that this kind of spearheads and get you some more students, just because it's worth it. You're worth it. Like your gift is making room for you tremendously, because it's definitely doing what you want it to do. What your mission is happening. So you had something that you could share with someone about your program and about just anything about if no one had ever heard about you before, what would you say to them?
Oh my. Wow. That's a question.
Yeah, now we're gonna have real questions, right?
Whoa. What could I say that nobody never heard of me?
Never heard of you.
Oh, you stumped me here. Oh my. My goodness. What if they never, all I would ask them to do is come and try it. I always tell people, just come and try me out and give me your opinion. That's why I always ask for feedback. I always tell people, I'm like I said, a lot of people don't know about Guyana. So I am basically sharing my culture of Guyana, the Caribbean, with you. So all I ask is for you to come and try and just enjoy the road. That's it. That's it. Just try.
I think that's awesome. Even though you had to think about it, I thought that was awesome. And I agree with you. Like, my first time coming, I didn't know what to expect. My best friend, one of my best friends in Virginia, Cece, invited me to come because she knew I was working on this healthier me journey. And she told me she had been doing some workouts and that you had a Zoom. And I said, okay, well, send it to me. I'll do it one time. And you can't get rid of me. I try to come every chance I can get.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, and I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, y'all, I really appreciate you coming on. Like I said, this is my first time having someone come on, and I think it's awesome.
Thank you.
So I think it's time for us, because our time is 8 o'clock. So it's time for us to do our drawing. So the drawing is for the 4 free virtual classes with Miss Candace in her program, Intense Fiyaaaa Fitness, LLC. And so I'm excited for whoever wins, y'all. Y'all guys just gonna, yeah, I'm just so excited for y'all. Jermaine's doing our drawing, so y'all don't think I cheated. He's back. We ain't gonna let him talk.
Hello, Jermaine.
Hey. Jermaine be the one in the background trying to encourage me. He take all my pictures when I'm working out. I be like, Jermaine, go take a. He come around the corner with a picture. He be like,
awesome.
Be a challenge. I be trying to get my be like, go mom. She's like,
awesome.
I be like, I'm so glad that the camera be on mute because I be like, I'm about to die. Let's make sure everybody sing.
Oh my gosh.
You got your one?
yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh. The winner for the 4 free virtual classes is Miss Jakayla Hammer.
Oh wow.
Look
She
at that.
did say, oh my God. When I mentioned that in class, she was like, I would love to win that. Oh,
I know she is super excited. Let me see.
look at God.
Let's see.
Wow.
Look at that. Let me do it one more time so y'all don't think I did something.
Wow.
So we will connect with Miss Jakayla and let her know what she needs to do to coordinate and get her classes going.
Yes.
3 sessions. Woo, woo.
Yes, Jakayla.
Yes, so I'm excited. Yes, this is our second giveaway that we've done, so I'm super excited. We have a third one.
I won the first one.
Yes, Miss Candace got the first one. That crazy, y'all. She got the first one, which is you should be getting it any day. It's been mailed off with some extra goodies in there as well. Our third giveaway is going to be a self-care basket. I am connecting with the lady that makes self-care baskets, and she is doing a special one for the giveaway. So, and I'm trying to talk her into coming on and talking a little bit about her business. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to have that coordinated, and I will let y'all know the steps and what needs to happen in order to go into the drawing for the self-care basket. Awesome. Well, yeah, that's all I got today. I'm tired. We get one extra day to stay at home.
Yes.
Yes, because of the holiday. So I'm very excited about staying home tomorrow. What I will ask everybody is let's continue to pray for each other in these times. My particular school system is going back to Plan B, so we're going back into the building this week, and so we want to keep everybody lifted up for our health and safety and all that great stuff. I want y'all to continue to journal. Last time we talked, I gave y'all some suggestions of doing 3 goals for the day to do your the things that gratitude, your 3 gratitudes, and writing down one good thing that happened for the day. So let's go and do that this week as well. That's all I got, y'all. Anything else you wanted to share?
Well, follow me on Facebook, on Instagram. My flyer is always posted on my page, and it's always 5 A's in fire. So when you go, just put them 5 A's, and you will always find me. So thank you guys so much, and hope to see some of you in my class soon.
Awesome. And I will put all of your contact information for all your social media handles. I'll put it in the chat. So y'all guys will be able to have that. If you can't find it, it'll be there. And I also will put the affirmations down. And I'll reach out to you to let you know that you won. And I will connect with Miss Candace to make that happen, y'all.
Yes.
So everyone, please be intentional in all that you do. And y'all have a great week.
Yes, have a blessed evening. Thank you.
Awesome. Bye-bye, y'all.
Good night.